Alright, so yeah, I know it's been a minute going through some stuff, but you know, we here now, so let's get to it. As you can see by the title of the video, I'm going to be recreating R.E.P.O's Hourglass mechanics. And all I gotta say is, man, I did not think it would be this bad. Like, I thought, hey, just make a host and join system, throw in some voice chat, maybe even sprinkle in some slow-mo effects. Wrong. Well, actually, it is what ended up happening, to be fair. But I had to download a couple things and then go into some files, and the whole thing had me ready to push my monitor, I'm not gonna lie. So, without further ado, here we go. First off, I had to download this plugin called Advanced Sessions, which the link is in the description. I chose the UE version that I am currently using for this project, which is 5.4. Then I went into my project folder and made a new folder called Plugins. And then I extracted the Advanced Sessions folder into here, but we only need these two folders, so I deleted the rest. By the way, you want to do this with the engine closed because we are editing the files. And if it works when you relaunch your engine, you should see it here in the plugins. Next was looking for online systems and checking off OnlineSubsystems, OnlineSubsystemSteam, and OnlineSubsystemUtils. Next, once again, we got to close the engine, and we got to go into the config folder for the file and write this down, which I will also leave in the description. Which, by the way, shout out to motherfucking Go Kickabyte, because without him, I would not have been able to find out how to do this on my own. But yeah, to make sure you did everything correctly, launch the engine and make sure you have Steam open, because when you run it as a standalone game, the Steam overlay should pop up. And if that doesn't work, then all I can say is restart your engine, restart your computer, go to your local McDonald's, and if the ice cream machine broke, you're shit out of luck. Next was making a game instance blueprint and using the Advanced Friends game instance class and selecting it in the maps and modes in the project settings. And now for the code. First was making it so that we can actually host a server, and bam, here we go. But this shit did not work. I spent a good 30 minutes wondering why it didn't. So I went back to the goat's video, and according to him, you need to add this little section right here or else it won't work no matter how hard you try. Also, make sure you got these settings checked right here. To test this code, all we gotta do is change it to play as listen server, set it to 2 players, and then new editor window, and bam, we got it. Now to make a cute little host button, and in turn, I made a join button as well. To make the host button was literally just casting to the game instance and calling the host session event. Next was using the voice chat, which luckily Advanced Sessions plugin has notes for that, so it made my job a lot easier. So I used the add VoIP talker function, or VoIP, to attach a voice component to the player and save the reference to it. Then I had to register the player state, but for whatever reason it wasn't working, so I just threw in this isValid node, which honestly, for the most part, always fixes anything when it comes to this, when it comes to any form of casting, that is. And then just to make sure that it is valid, I threw in a delay for 0.2 seconds to recheck if it is valid every 0.2 seconds. And I know, don't use delay, but guess what? It worked. Now for the mic setup. I set the threshold to -1 so it picks up everything, even your breathing. If you want to make it not as sensitive, all you gotta do is just use a higher number in this case, since it is a negative number. Made a nice little make voice settings node because it's apparently how you make proximity chat. And when it comes to the settings itself, all you gotta do is set up a sound attenuation. I didn't even have to touch the settings, but hey, if it works, it works. And I attached it to the player camera because it would be the closest thing to our ears. Gotta check if it is locally controlled, which is us the player and not someone else pushing the button. Gotta check if it's locally controlled, which is us the player and not someone else talking. And if it is, we use this console command to activate voice chat, which this also has to be accurate, so I threw this into the description. And once again, the Go Kickabyte showed me how to do push to talk, which is literally just another console command. This one opens up the mic and this one closes it. And these also have to be 100% accurate, so I'll also throw these into the description. And now to test it. Yellow, 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 yellow. Now for the slow motion part. So I can't lie, I didn't want to have to make another object to activate the slow-mo effect. I know, I was just, and I know y'all not booing me, y'all gotta chill, alright?
You need to leave.
I was tired. But okay, anyways, I made it to the T key. Put a flip-flop because that's how you make it toggle. So if I push the T key, it activates. Push it again, it deactivates. We all got that right? Okay, alright. And luckily for me, all I had to do was make 2 timelines and add these 2 nodes. One timeline controls the global time dilation, which is what makes everything slow-mo. And another timeline changes the global pitch modulation, which affects the voice and also how slow motion it becomes. But yeah, that was literally it. If you want to make it so that it's not a global time dilation, the only reason I did this was to slow the player down, but realistically you could just make it the walk speed. But I always like using global time dilation, so yeah. And now for the testing. Alright, so yellow. Alright. Hey, what's up? How's it going? So yeah, that's how I made the slow-mo hourglass effect from R.E.P.O. If you want to see more mechanics like this, or got any game mechanics that you want me to recreate, drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.